So, Tansei Oki Bonzu again. I'm just trying to see if everything is working. Hopefully it is. Yeah, it says that everything's online. So, yay for technology. So again, Tansei Oki Bonzu again. I had begun with a land acknowledgement and it looked like my Facebook wasn't up and running. So I'm going to continue with the land acknowledgement just by acknowledging the land upon which we stand, which I stand here in Calgary, which is Mohkinstsis, Treaty 7 territory. And so I honor the Blackfoot of Siksika, Kainai, and Pagani. I honor the Sarsi Dene from Tsutsuna and the Stony Nakota from Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. We're also walking in the footsteps of Métis Region 3, which is why I proudly wear my Métis sash to act as that bridge between Indigenous and non-Indigenous culture. And when I do that land acknowledgement, it is so important to just note our sense of place, note, where we're from, how we got here. I always encourage people to really trace that lineage of what brought them here, and how thankful we are to actually be here. And so I'm always really, really humbled to be where I am. But I wanted to welcome everyone into the circle today with the Cree Welcome Song. Traditionally, when we sing songs and stories, we sing in rounds of 4, under the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. But this song is a little bit different. We actually sing it in rounds of 3, and that's to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences, because if everybody was exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever get done. And so we need those differences to make our world work. We need those knowledge keepers to be able to share. We need storytellers. We need people who are amazing at math, engineers to create the things that we live in. We need those healers and we need those nurturers and those teachers to really guide those future generations and each other. And of course, we need like writers and artists. We need everybody in that circle. And I think it's really, sometimes we get so caught up in our own circle that we don't really realize the things that are happening all around us. And so I think it's really important to just take that moment and take that time and really be thankful for everyone within our society, within our community, that really support each other. Even without knowing that person who's standing across the circle from you, they're still doing good work. And I think that's just such a gift to be able to recognize and acknowledge. And so this song, Miasin, which is the Cree Welcome Song, this is from the Natahau family from Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation, and they are on the border of Saskatchewan and Alberta. And I thank this family for keeping this song alive, because for so many generations, we couldn't sing our songs, we couldn't share our stories, we couldn't speak our languages. I'm still working on trying to get my language back. I'm learning a little bit at a time. My goal is to learn at least one word or phrase a day, and eventually it'll stick, hopefully. But it's a gift to be able to share these stories, to be able to share these songs, to be able to share all of these things that are around us. But I'm just really humbled and thankful to be on the path that I'm on now, to be able to share. And so Miasin really honors that path. And so I'm very thankful every time I sing it. And it's a good way to just ground and begin. And so no matter how flustered or stressed or, whatever's going on, as soon as I start singing Miasin, it was just like, now I can start. And so I'm really, really thankful to the Natahau family for keeping the song alive. And when I sing it, of course, I sing it in rounds of 3 as opposed to rounds of 4 like we normally would, to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because again, in a circle, we're all connected. And so Miasin, it doesn't just mean welcome, it also means beautiful. Move my chair out of the way. Go stand in the northern lights. Miasin, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epetakote, niwagomagan. Hota homa kitaskino mi miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epentakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino, miasen, miasen, hasemina, hasemina, epetakote, niwagomagan, hota, homa, kitaskino. Hi, and welcome to the circle today, everybody. I'm going to begin with a smudge. I have laid my medicines out. You can't see them because they're on a table over here. But I'm going to begin by just using sage, just acknowledging my medicines. I acknowledge sweetgrass in the east, which connects us to our mind. Again, these are just my teachings. I think it's important to just give a brief history because you don't know. Sometimes you can hear the messages like in the lessons like 100 times and they never really stick. And then one day it's just like, boom, they stick. But also whatever's meant for you, you'll discover, which is really beautiful. So I honor sweetgrass. Well, it smells really good. Sweetgrass is that sweetest medicine, the children's medicine, medicine of our mind, the medicine in the East, and so I'm very, very thankful whenever I'm getting gifted sweetgrass, but I also give a lot of way because I think it's a beautiful way to connect. It's got that braid, which represents the, every strand has 7 blades, which represents our 7 generations forward, our 7 generations back, but also our 7 teachings, which is a gift. I also have laid out, I have it still in the bag, my cedar in the south, and that represents the time we're in now, the summer, and so, oh, it's green, so the green skin keeps disappearing. That's cool. Yeah, so there's cedar. Magic cedar. Actually, it is magic because it's really good. It's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, an antiseptic. It's an antihistamine, so I've been having a really hard time with the smoke, so I think I'm going to have a cup of cedar tea after I'm done this broadcast because it really does help with allergies. And it just helps to kind of clear things out. Also, if you boil it on the stove and you breathe it in, and it actually is really good for my asthma. I really love it. And then, of course, I have my sage. I've already balled it up just to honor the teachings of the sage medicine. That's that women's medicine, connection to water, and our connection to our emotions. And also, I love smudging. I find that it just calms me down and puts me in a good space. It makes me feel better about my day. And it's just a really good way to just connect and take a moment to just balance everything. And then the last one we have, pardon me, I've got a few of them here, but I have tobacco. Tobacco being spirit medicine. So it's what we give to each other to say thank you from our spirit to someone else's spirit. It's really about acknowledging the connection that we have to each other's spirits, to our ancestors, to our elders, and knowing that there's a lot of noises happening in my house today. Yeah, when we gift it to someone, it is saying thank you from our spirit to their spirit. When we pray with it, it's really special. So whenever I'm asking for something or I need something or I'm thinking of someone that I want to honor them with healing and prayers, I'll actually lay tobacco down on the ground for them to gift that to them. When people we're doing virtual things, sometimes people will actually virtually, well, because of course they can't give it physically in person, but they'll actually lay tobacco down instead of being present to give it to me, just to give it to the earth on my behalf with some prayers. And I do that for elders as well. Like I will have tobacco set aside for specific elders if I'm doing an online format, and then I will go and I would lay some tobacco outside for them, and I'll keep that until the next time I see them. So everybody does it a little differently. But let's start with the smudge. I'm going to take my earrings off. I'll stay grounded and connected. Because of course, metal holds energy, and you don't want to hold anything you want to get rid of. My teaching is we always use matches. We don't usually use a lighter. With sulfur, it's usually found on the surface. You don't really have to dig very deep. Whereas you have to drill down into Mother Earth for natural gas. So out of respect for the medicine, we always light it with like a match. If you only have a lighter, oftentimes you'll like light a stick and then light your medicine, but you don't want to put the gas right on that beautiful medicine. So I'm fanning it with my hand. I never blow on it because our breath is our life and our life is precious and we don't waste that for anybody. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean my hands in it so that anything I'm carrying, I let go of, get rid of. Although right now I have like a lot of dirt under my nails. I'm going to bring it over my body 4 times, down to the 4 directions in my body. I'm going to smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path. So I can be open-minded and never rigid with my thinking. I'm going to smudge my ears so I can be open to hear all of the messages that Creator sends me. So I can listen twice as much as I speak, because those are the teachings of the chickadee. And then I smudge my eyes so I can see clearly and see the beauty in every person and everything that crosses my path. I can remind myself that sometimes you need clear vision to be able to see everything. And some things are unseen, so that's important to acknowledge that vision as well. I smudge my nose so I can smell danger, nature, and cookies. I smudge my mouth so I can speak only true and kind words that are helpful and benefit mankind. Oh, there we go. I always ask myself, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? If it's none of those things, don't say it, don't do it. I'm going to smudge my throat because I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime, because I continue to give voice to the voiceless. And also, my spirit name is She Who Dances and Sings with Spirits in a Storm. And that's what my Wisham gave it to me. In Old Cree, it was very, very short. But I still haven't quite figured out how to say it in Cree. But in Blackfoot territory, it is Red Singer, which totally makes sense. Also, apparently there's not a word for pink in Blackfoot. That's what Clarence Wilflag told me. He always makes me smile. I'm very, very thankful. Awesome. I'm going to smudge my heart so I can be kind, compassionate, and show unconditional love to all those that cross my path, my family, my friends, acquaintances, strangers, but also so I can show love to myself. Because I think sometimes we forget to do that. We forget to take care of ourselves. That one's just stubborn. I'm going to smudge my lungs so I breathe good, clean air, to remind myself of the sacred breath that we all share. We've been sharing with our trees, with our ancestors for thousands of generations. I'm going to smudge my stomach so all of the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. I'm going to smudge my womanhood because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother in this time. I'm a two-spirit woman, so I'm very thankful for carrying that masculine and feminine energy within me. I smudge my arms and my hands so I can do the good work that Creator's put me here to do. I smudge my shoulders and my back so I can carry all of the responsibilities that Creator's gifted me. Oops, I bumped my hair thing. With grace and humility. I smudge my legs so I walk this red road in a good way. And I smudge my feet so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her and honoring her with every step. And then if there's anywhere else in your body that you need a little extra love, definitely send that energy there. So my knee has been giving me grief. So I'm going to smudge my knee. My hips, of course, are always giving me grief. One in particular, but both of them do. So I would smudge those. And then if there's anyone in your life that you want to smudge for, send them that healing, that love, that appreciation. My cat, I've been smudging and sending a lot of healing energy to him. So he had a run-in with a bobcat, but he survived. He's finally home. It took him a week to recover in the hospital, but he's home, he's eating, he's looking pretty good. He's mad that he's locked in one room, but I'm very, very thankful for that. So I smudge for him. I smudge for my children. I smudge for my family. I smudge for myself. All right. And then when you're all done, you just say thank you, or miigwech, or hi, or merci, or grazie, or xie, or however you say thank you in your language. And so I'm going to begin with a song and a story. So today I was actually out in Chestermere and I was doing seed bombs with some kids. And so the seed bombs, I share the story of the three sisters. And I wish I knew more of the stories so I can kind of give a brief of what I know, so I'll share it. So a long time ago there were three sisters. One, the eldest and the tallest sister, she was always, she had a lovely green shawl, but she was always like dressed in yellow, bright yellow hair, and her hair always had like tendrils everywhere, so she was a little crazy looking in her hair. But she was always the one to start and to lead. Of course, she was the eldest sister, so of course she was always moving forward. And then the second sister, the middle sister, she was always wrapped in green. And she also had these beautiful tendrils, but they were more like, curls that kind of cascaded down her. And she was always kind of moving in a very fluid way. She was always adapting to the things that were around her. But even though she was the middle sister, she had so much depth to her. And she was always reaching for the truth in the earth. She was always connecting deeply to the truth all around her and to the roots of her ancestors. And then the third sister, the littlest sister, she, of course, had her cute little tendrils everywhere, but she was a little bit rounder in the face than all of her other sisters. She was always nipping at their heels and following them about. And she was always like crawling around, rolling around in the ground. Just, of course, she was a little sister. She loved to roll around. But she always had like such joy in her face, but she was always like last to the party. Of course, she's the youngest sister. And one day, as they were out picking medicines and honoring the earth around them, this youngest sister just disappeared, and they couldn't find her anywhere. So the two eldest sisters were looking around, and they started to worry. And then they were exhausted. They had looked all day, and they said, okay, well, maybe she'll come back tomorrow, but she didn't. And so they began to look again, and then the middle sister disappeared. And the eldest sister had looked high and low for her youngest sister and her second youngest sister, but couldn't find them. And finally, the last day, she ended up wandering far to find them, and she saw the beautiful young man, and she said, excuse me, but have you seen my sisters? And he said, yes, yes, they're honoring us in our village. Please come and join us. And so she followed the young man into the village, and there was a beautiful lodge set up. And so she sat with them in the lodge. And all of the people were just so welcoming, and they explained like they didn't really have a lot of food. They didn't really have a lot of abundance because there wasn't a lot of plants on the land, and there wasn't a lot of game to be found. And the three sisters knew that even though all of these people they didn't have very much, they were gifting whatever they did have. They were so generous, and the sisters were so thankful for this that they decided to give a gift back to the people. And so the first sister, the eldest sister, the tallest sister, she gave corn. And she said that this corn, like her, will grow very tall. It would start the first in the spring, and it would support those other sisters. And then the second sister gave a bean seed. And this bean, she explained, will tendril, just like her. She kind of wrapped around her sister, but the bean never chokes the corn. It will ride up the corn, but it won't steal any of the nutrients. It won't steal any of the sun, but it does support it in its own way. And not only that, but what the bean does, it is actually digs its roots deep into the ground and creates nitrogen to support her other sister. And then that last sister, that youngest sister, she gave a squash seed. And she explained that the squash, it climbs and it twists its way and it winds its way all over the ground. And that not only protects those sisters' feet, but it actually holds the water into the soil. And so together they work in unison as sisters and cooperate to create an abundance. And pound for pound, Three Sisters Garden will actually give you a lot more food than just a plain ordinary row garden. And so it teaches us about cooperation and connection and how there is these interdependencies that create magic, beauty. It's incredible. Not only that, but they're all of the vitamins and minerals that you need, right, jam-packed into those three sisters. And so when I think of the Three Sisters song, I think of Anagea, because the Three Sisters story is a southern indigenous story. Some say Cherokee, some say Haudenosaunee. There's a few different versions of that particular story and the particular teachings around those medicines or those food. Well, food is medicine, so those foods. And so that's really, it made me think of the Women's Honor Song. And I thank Joan Henry, who's a Arapaho Cherokee, for sharing this song. Because, again, for so many generations we couldn't. And so she put this song online, so please do look her up. She has some really amazing songs and amazing pieces, and she's just an amazing woman. And so I'm just so humbled and thankful and grateful to be able to share this song. And so I'm going to grab my drum and push this thing out of the way. Okay. And so, the Women's Honor Song, we sing it in 4 rounds. There's usually prayer at the end, but of course I can't sing and pray at the same time. Well, I mean, I can't because my songs are my prayers. But yeah, it is just honoring that women's spirit. You can hear that pulse or that rhythm, and that's that rhythm of Mother Earth that we are honoring. That rhythm of, our mothers and our grandmothers and our great mothers and our ancestors that have brought us here. It's that pulse of those future generations. But it's how all of the food will feed us. And so I honor the Three Sisters with this song as well. This is Anagea. Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, weha Anagea, weha weha, weha no way, weha weha, weha weha, weha we no way, no way, highway, highway, Anagaya, Weha, Wehana, Weha, we Thinking a lot about women's songs. I'm going to sing 3 women's songs for the 3 sisters because I was really, thinking of that, being very conscious of it today. All right. So the next song I'm going to share is a strong women's song. And originally it was the Turtle Song. And it's an OG Cree song, so it's not Anishinaabe, it's not Cree, it's both. And so this song was originally brought forth as the turtle song. When we look at the turtle, it represents Grandmother Moon, but it also represents Turtle Island, which is our beautiful Mother Earth, so it would make sense that it's women's song. But when we look at a turtle's back, it has 13 bumps to represent the 13 moons in a year, and it has 28 ridges along the outside to represent the 28 days in a moon cycle. And we cycle in 28 days just like that. So as women, we have our moon time. This is why it's called our moon time, because we cycle in the 28 days. And it's our own ceremony that we have. It's a cleansing ceremony. It's to get rid of things that we don't need. And it reminds us to, refill our cup, to get rid of those things we don't want, but refill our cup. But this song represents that strength of, that sacrifice that we make every month with our ceremony, and that resilience that we have, the strength of being life bearers, being life givers, being community, like the ones that draw community together in a meaningful way. And so this is truly what this song honors. So this is just, I'm always humbled to sing it. When I sing it with a heartbeat, because that's the heartbeat of Mother Earth. That's usually a women's beat or an honor beat or a ceremony beat. And so, yeah. And when I sing it, I also go a little higher up, because to me, I can see the struggles that, women have gone through for so many generations, and to see us rise above and rise through those things. That's truly what I envision whenever I hear the music go up. So this is the way that I sing the Strong Woman song. So the next song I want to share with you, this is from the West Coast. This is, of course, the Women's Warrior Song, and in it, it's that strength that women bring to unify their community. It is sung oftentimes to honor the armored and missing Indigenous women and girls and our Two-Spirit people who have gone missing on the streets of Vancouver, specifically Hastings Street. We've lost a lot of people there. But this really is for that strength, those women who are the true warriors, those people who are the true warriors. To be a warrior, you don't have to be on the front lines fighting. It's, those gentle warriors are the ones that pick up the pieces when there are gaps in our community because we have, one of our loved ones has been missing or has been murdered. So it's the warrior spirit who keeps those teachings and their voice alive and who strives for justice for those people. And for their family members, for their friends. It's the ones that step in and raise, their nieces and nephews and grandkids, their friends' kids, because their friend cannot be found. And I think that's truly what makes a warrior spirit. It's the ones who stand up for what's right. And, they don't have to fight necessarily, but it's just standing strong and standing true to who you are, to your beliefs, and to what is right. And that's truly what a warrior spirit is. So this is the Women's Warriors. I'm going to share another women's song with you. It's really been on my mind lately, and I think it's really important, I think, in this time to just really honor all of our women and all of our Two-Spirit people who are really taking on those leadership roles the way that was intended thousands of years ago. And so it's really a gift to see where our societies are shifting and changing and how those those really outdated ways of thinking are being they're being addressed, which is a beautiful thing. And so this is the mother song. In it, it's the mother calling out and her child calling back. But of course, as that child grows up, or as unfortunately children have been taken away, whether it be through the residential school, whether it be through the 60s scoop, whether it be through residential school 2.0, the foster care system, it really is about honoring that journey and that relationship between a mother and a child that we need to develop. And some people will take on that role, and I think we honor those people as well. It's important to honor those people as well. And so this is the mother song to represent that relationship that we have and how we need to nurture all of our generations, not just our own. I'm quite thirsty. So I think I'm going to sing the water song. So, in the water song, you can hear, well, you might hear the river flowing, you might hear the ocean rocking back and forth and crashing, or you might hear the rain and the thunder and the lightning. So no matter what, but you're going to hear water. And it teaches us about honoring, our emotions and honoring our journey and honoring, that ebb and flow that is throughout nature, is throughout ourselves. And so it's really important to acknowledge that. I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in society tells us not to acknowledge our emotions, and that's just a slippery slope to like failure. We all have emotions, and if it wasn't for emotions, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have strong families or relationships or friendships. And it's really important that we acknowledge our heart medicine, because it is a medicine. And so when we cry, when our tears come, it's more healing than anything, because you're letting those things out and you're acknowledging those emotions. And so I honor the teachings of water, the teachings of our emotions, and the teachings of how water sustains us, because without water, there would be no life. We wouldn't be here. And so this is truly what the song honors. So I'm going to share the water song. And I believe the Odaminque singers have a version of this on YouTube. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. 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 Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. 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 Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. 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 Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. 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 Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey ya. Wishatnia, hey ya, hey. Wishita do ya day. Wishita do ya day. Wishita do ya day. Wishita do ya day. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. Wishita do ya, wishita do ya day. Now you know a song. I love that song. It sounds great. when we sing it all together. And even if somebody's offbeat, it sounds like a really cool like round, which is awesome. Speaking of tears, I think it's important right now to share the healing song. This is called the healing song, or the crying song, or the wailing song. It's a Cree song. And I've heard it from many, many elders. It usually was a ceremonial song, but we're in a time of great healing, that we need to come together as communities to be able to heal, to be able to cry together, to be able to share together. We are going through, uncovering collective trauma. And I think it's really important to be able to heal, and our tears are so healing. It's a way to draw everyone together. This song in particular, today I wanted to dedicate to the Gladue family, who finally got justice after waiting over a year for their sister, mother, Auntie Cindy. And so I'm sending healing to their family and support and love. And this is for the family and friends of Cindy Gladue. And this is the Cree healing song, also called the crying song and the wailing song. The third round, we stop drumming, and in that round, that's where you ask for those prayers. That's where you set that intention, and then when the drum comes back, you let that intention out. And so this is the healing song. And I wanted to share one more song before I go. I know I kind of started a little bit late, but I wanted to thank everybody for coming, for tuning in. Please do feel free to share. I think it's important. Whatever's meant to be shared, whatever's meant to be learned will. And I think you just got to trust the universe. You got to trust Creator, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, to really lead you on the right path. And so this is the traveling song, which leads us on our right path. It teaches us that all paths will lead to home. They will lead to our family, to our friends, to discovering ourselves. And no matter how twisted our paths get, there's always a way back. It also teaches us really about honoring the journey that's ahead of us and in front of us, and not looking back so much, because if you continue to look back, you forget where you're going and you don't appreciate those gifts that are coming to you. And so this is the traveling song. This is not a Anishinaabe song. I learned it originally from my elder Shampoo Turner, and then again it came through again after I thought I had lost it, when I lost her, through my friend Ashley and my friend Yolanda. And so I was so thankful and humbled for that song coming back, and right when we were all thinking of her. So this is a gift. This is the traveling song, and may everyone have a wonderful week ahead, and may your journey be easy, simpler, a little bit more gentle than it has been in recent weeks. Hey, ah, hey, ah, hey, yo. something just yelled in my head to sing the Thunderbird song, so I'm going to sing that. And so, yeah, this is the Thunderbird song. We definitely need some Thunderbirds. We need some rain so that we can support those fires that are happening all around us. But we need water to survive. And so do all of our relations, the plants and the animals and the trees, everyone. And so, yeah, this is a Thunderbird song. Fifth one was for good measure. And so, Magwitch, everyone, hi, thank you so much for joining me for another fabulous Tuesday. Thank you for dealing. Well, you can't see my the garbage that's behind the screen, but I am just really thankful and humbled for the technology that we do have to hide my garbage. And hopefully I will be in more of a usable office space next week. We shall see what happens. But I hope everyone has a beautiful week. I'm sending healing and hugs and lots of love. And yeah, have a wonderful week along your journey. May be gentle. May the smoke clear and our lungs be filled with the sacred breath again. And yeah, Magwitch, hi. And we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye-bye.